Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing Lightning Wizard again, and this time we are running up against Burn, which is kind of an interesting matchup. So all in aggro against all in aggro. This is our opening hand. It's fine. We've got a Storm Chaser Mage, a couple of spells, and we've got Serum Visions to hopefully sort of lead us in a bit of a direction. Hopefully, maybe find us another creature or so. With Serum Visions, find a Soul Scar Mage, which is nice. We also see Snapcaster Mage. I really don't want this to land. Guess we don't urgently need the Snapcaster Mage. I'm not sure if I get that on top or not. We'll play Goblin Guide, attacks. Yeah, we did keep the Snapcaster on top. Maybe we could have bombed that, I'm not sure. But we've got the Wizard's Lightning to go with it, so I suppose it's certainly not that bad. Kind of great fetching Breeding Pool here, because we could have played Soul Scar Mage and then had Lightning Bolt for the Goblin Guide. Also, we could block the Goblin Guide with this Storm Chaser, but I'm not sure how much I like that. So go for the attack here. Attacks, we draw a land off of the Goblin Guide. Play Steam Vents here. Play Soul Scar Mage. Kill off the Goblin Guide. Attack for 2. And attacks. Just going to take 1 here. Attack with the Soul Scar Mage and keep back Storm Chaser, given that we don't really have a whole lot going on here at the moment. Opponent plays Boros Charm, and we've got Snapcaster Bolt up if needs be. Opponent doesn't do anything. Find Serum Visions. Oh, actually, the opponent didn't do nothing. They spend 2 Rift Bolts, which obviously just leaves us dead next turn, which is a big problem. So we are going to Serum Visions here, and we find Become Immense, which is very useful alongside this Assault Strobe. There is actually another Assault Strobe and a Snapcaster Mage on top. It doesn't really matter what we do with those, because we do need to win this turn, but we actually have the tools to do so. So Assault Strobe gives Storm Chaser double strike. Then we're going to be able to Become Immense. Then we're going to be able to hit for 20 here in the air, which wraps up game 1. So got a bit lucky there, to be quite honest. I don't know whether we made the right attacks and what have you. Maybe we should have been a bit more defensive. But ultimately, we managed to combine Become Immense with Assault Strobe, which is a pretty powerful play, and managed to wrap up the game here with a 20-point double strike hit, which is nice. So let's go on to the sideboarding. So here we're the sideboard. So we're playing against Burn. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of a tough one, to be honest. I suppose we could play Entrancing Melody and try and steal some of their creatures, which possibly wouldn't be bad, but it's a little bit slow. I didn't in this matchup, but I think in hindsight we should have got rid of these mutagenic growths, because obviously they cost life. And obviously our opponent is trying to burn us out, so we probably should take out the mutagenic growths. Vape Snag seems pretty good. Dispel, just to counter burn spells, is probably decent as well. Can also look at bringing in some more removal for their creatures, just to get rid of them off the board, which is fairly key. So yeah, answers to Eidolon of the Great Revel as well are probably going to be pretty useful. So Forked Bolt and Flame Slash might want to come in as well. We probably want to be taking out the mutagenic growths, just because paying life is kind of a dangerous place to be, and maybe want to take out the sort of top end cards like Adeliz. Snapcaster still seems fairly good, because it works well on the defensive. So yeah, kind of a tricky one. We're kind of trying to out aggro each other, but obviously we've got to be conscious of our life total, etc. Also, in terms of cards that come out, I suppose Artful Dodge probably wants to come out. It's unlikely that our opponent's going to be sitting around blocking us, so might as well get rid of that as well. So bringing in Dispels, maybe the Vapor Snags and the Fault Bolts and Flame Slashes, taking out Mutagenic Growths and Artful Dodge is probably the way to go. And maybe one of the Adder Lizards. So let's go on to this second game. So this is on game 2. As I say, I in hindsight would have taken my own advice and not put in Mutagenic Growths. Probably would have taken these out for this matchup, because our opponent's obviously attacking our life total with Burn. But otherwise this hand seems fine. We've got the Soulscar Mage, and we've got some cantrips to help us dig deeper into our deck. That leads off with a Swift Spear. We can play Soulscar Mage. Can play a second Swift Spear, attacks us for 2. And then bolts us as well, which puts us down to 12. Which isn't great. We draw a Swift Spear of our own, which is nice. Just going to fetch up a mountain here to take as little life loss as possible. And then we're going to Serum Visions. And a Lightning Bolt, Snapcaster, and an Island on top. Don't want either of those realistically. We're going to attack for 4 here. I mean, it could end pretty badly for us, but ultimately I think we need to kind of hope that we can kill our opponent next turn. Obviously, what we could have done there was we could have triple Mutagenic Growthed, and we would have hit for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is it 13 or 14 damage? I think it might be 14. So we could have hit for 14, but obviously then we've lost 6 life from using Mutagenic Growths, and then our opponent's going to be able to kill us. So it wasn't enough to kill our opponent, so we held back on that. And so we're just going to see what happens here. Problem being that we potentially get put in a position where these Mutagenic Growths are basically dead, in the sense that we can't use our life to cast them, and we don't have any green mana. And potentially we could have, on that fetch land, got a green source, and maybe we should have done, but it's kind of risky with our life total. So when opponent has that Boros Charm to hit us for 4, and then attacks us for 4, which puts us all the way down to 3. Draw a Mountain for our turn, which isn't going to be enough, I don't think, because we're only going to be able to use one of these Mutagenic Growths as it stands. We play Opt, which finds us an Assault Strobe, which is very handy. Pretty much the best card we could have drawn, I suppose. So we're going to be able to Assault Strobe here, give the Soulscar Mage double strike, use the 1 Mutagenic Growth that we can afford to use on it, which ticks it all the way up to 6. And we can also bolt our opponent, which at this point is actually necessary. And then we're able to finish off the game. So yeah, it went pretty well. Not gonna lie, we got pretty lucky, and definitely should have sideboarded differently, I think, in hindsight. But this went very well, and certainly some of the faster wins I've managed to obtain with the deck. So you can see what the deck can do at the kind of its strongest points. Particularly with cards like Assault Strobe, Double Strike is definitely very powerful and one of the faster ways to win. And on this occasion, we actually were able to outrace Burn, which was pretty nice and kind of unexpected, to be honest. But yeah, worked out pretty well for us this time around. But I can't lie, we did get a bit lucky.